Hello and welcome to the Front Office Podcast. I am your host, Marcus Cameron. And as always, our show is sponsored by Tees and Trees Clothing. Tees and Trees is where we stand on business. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Whatever time you're checking into the show, man, we appreciate the check-in. Shout out to Lifestyle International hat. I got more, but this is one of my favorite ones, so I'm always rocking that. And shout out to my homie Brent, man, for the motivational text about when I was dropping a new episode. As y'all know, I've been gone for a while, been dealing with some things as far as just life in general. Kids, wife, son graduating, going off to college, cross country, track, all that good stuff, man. No excuses, but I needed a mental break, and I am very happy to be back. As you can see, we got a different background. I got a new look, no beard. Got a few things going on, man, some things going on in life, but that's not why we're here. You know what I mean? The most important thing is I'm back. I'm going to be consistent. I'm dropping a new episode today. I'm going to try to get another one out for football. But right now, we want to talk about some information and some things that's been going on in the NBA. Season tips off tomorrow. Tomorrow is the big tip-off, October 21st. Today is October 20th. As if you haven't not already, make sure you click the like, subscribe, and follow button. Should be popping up as a nice little ding on your screen there. I'm just happy to be back. I'm glad for all the followers and who has been following the show, man. We appreciate you. We love you. We do have some NBA news. We're going to talk about this LeBron Stephen A. saga. For whatever reason, it's still going on. But we're here for it. We're going to talk. Let's discuss. We 2 games on the schedule tomorrow. We got the Warriors and Lakers in the late game, and we got the Houston Rockets against the defending champ, the OKC Thunder. That's going to be the early game for tomorrow. So let's get straight into it. Front Office Podcast. Let's do it. The NBA is back, and I am super happy. Not the NBA is just so great. Even people say the ratings are down and all this. I'm an NBA basketball junkie. I'm going to watch college basketball. I'm going to watch women's basketball. I'm going to absolutely watch the NBA. I'm his back because now we get something on TV to watch besides Sunday, Monday, and Thursday. I'm a big NFL fan, and I'll have the NFL show later on this week, but that's not why we're here. We're here to talk about what's going on in the NBA, starting with the games tomorrow. NBA tipping off. One of the big stories in the offseason is the TNT crew changing who they're actually with. It's no longer TNT. They're moving over to ESPN. The NBA is actually going to be aired on NBC or Peacock. If you don't or have a subscription, I mean, you catch the games on NBC, but some of the games will be on subscription. Me personally, I have what we like to call us older folks a scrambler, so I see all the games regardless of what channel you put it on. So I'm locked in. And for my gamblers, Prize Picks, I don't have a code for you to use, but I am a avid of Prize Picks. So Prize Pick, we still waiting for the sponsorship. You know what I mean? We still waiting for the sponsorship, but definitely tune. I'll give some picks. I haven't looked at the lines for tomorrow, but I'll post some on our Instagram, which is going to be High Skies Visions. And then of course make sure you check out our YouTube page as well, which is the Front Office Podcast 23. The game tomorrow, I think, is a very interesting game. Thunder versus the Houston Rockets. We got Kevin Durant with the Rockets now. That's a new look team. They did lose Fred VanVleet early training camp to, I believe it's an ACL tear. He's pretty much out for the year. Excuse me. So they're going to be trying to replace a point guard. Reed Shepherd had a really big game in one of the preseason games. Preseason, for me, is an indicator of what the team looks like, but it's not an indicator of what the team is going to be. The NBA season is nothing like the NFL or any other season for that matter. Like second longest season in sports. I believe it's like 162, 80. There is 82 games. That's a lot of games, which is a lot of traveling. There's a lot of things that can happen, a lot of injuries, a lot of changes, trades. So it's a lot that goes into an NBA season. Believe me, the team that you see tomorrow night from either one of them probably doesn't look like the team at the end of the year. Sometimes it does happen. OKC looked good from the very tip last year and finished off the season with a great win over the Indiana Pacers. 7 to win the NBA Finals. SGA with an amazing year. MVP Finals in, pulled off the hat trick, but I'm not sure. I don't think he made a defensive all team, at least not first team. I had to double check sources, and please chime in if I'm wrong about that. The Rockets are very interesting with Kevin Durant. We've multiple discussions on the Hot Seat podcast. If you haven't checked out that, absolutely make sure you check out the Hot Seat podcast. It's a dope show. And 4 guys just really conversation about everything sports. But we like to concentrate on really two things: NFL, NBA, and I dabble in WNBA. But the Rockets are very interesting. They're interesting because of the Kevin Durant move. Health is the big thing for me. Kevin Durant being healthy is going to be the determining factor of how far the Rockets go. They have great young pieces. They got the Thompson kid, they Sengun. They really, and they're well coached. There is a great coach. He defense, and they're a big team. Pause. A really big team as far as lengthwise. They got a lot of guys that can play and defend at a high level, multiple positions, which is going to make a difference when you're breaking down the playoffs and things of that nature. But if he's not available, and speaking of Kevin Durant, if he's not available in the playoffs or he gets hurt, you land on this one move. I fault the GM in regards to that, or the management as far as the move that they're making, but we shall see. I think tomorrow will be a good sample size of what you're going to actually see. As far as the OKC Thunder, man, they didn't really have to do a lot of upgrading. Most of the time when a team wins the championship, the big thing is, did you get better in the offseason? The Thunder are young. They signed their young core to long-term deals. They didn't make the same mistake that they did with James Harden and Russell Westbrook. They kept their together. Chet's still there, SGA's still there, and Jalen's still there. So their core is there, and they have great pieces around them. Alex Caruso. You have a lot of pieces that fit. They're well coached. They're young. I don't think we're going to see anything different from the Thunder. Again, health is going to play a major factor for them. But some teams did get better. So the West is going to be a shootout like it always is. The West is going to be a shootout, and I think the East is going to be a shootout as well, honestly. They're not what they are. Jason Tatum going down, probably not going to be out for the rest of the year. Jaylen Brown is an amazing player, but I'm not sure if he can carry or keep that Celtics team towards the top of the East by himself. They did make some good moves as far as Anthony Simons, and they lost Al Horford. He went to the Warriors. So we'll talk about the East when they kind of got on Wednesday. I think a few Eastern teams are playing on Wednesday, and then they got some games on Friday. But Dallas is a threat in the West for sure. Dallas is a threat. And I told my partner, man, shout out to Mike Jizzle, man. Utah a threat to win a championship, but I with that young core that they have in there, Ace Bailey looks great. From Florida looks great. Utah gets into the play-in. They're good and they're that young. We'll see how that plays out. But they'll be a good team. San Antonio, Wemby looks, scary. Well, Victor Wembanyama looks very, very. The Lakers are the Lakers. LeBron is going to give you what he can give you. You're going to get the 7. Luka looks in shape. DeAndre Ayton, a big signing with them. Again, I touched on this towards my last couple episodes. It's going to have to be a show improved thing with DeAndre Ayton. Marcus, so I do like that signing. He has not been healthy the last couple years. Can he be healthy? Can he be the that he was as far as the Celtics, or even 70 to 80% of that? If he can, he's going to be a huge help to the Lakers. And Austin Reeves is still there. Dalton Connect is going to have to find his way, or they're going to have to move him. But late game is going to be the Lakers and the Warriors. Now, the Warriors are very, very interesting because they made no moves. The only move they did, I think they signed Al Horford. They signed Steph Curry's brother, which they released him in a cap move, and I think they're going to be bringing him back in November. But they haven't made any move, which does let me know that they're looking to create trades. Giannis supposedly is on the move. Wants to get out of Milwaukee. That could end up in LA. He could end up with the Warriors. He could absolutely end up with the Spurs, which would be ridiculous. But I don't really have a prediction for the games tomorrow, man. Honestly, I just want to see what these teams look like. The Lakers is going to be hard to judge. No LeBron. You're going to have Luka there. You have the other pieces, but it'll be good to see what they look like. Without on the floor, can they sustain? Can they actually be competitive without him? I think they can. I'm not sure if they're going to beat the Warriors because the Warriors are going to spread them out and they're going to shoot a lot of threes. Should be very entertaining in basketball, but not sure if it's going to be a sign of what's to come. So that's really all I had as far as the tip-off is concerned. I do think that the TNT crew going to ESPN is a good thing. Well, first of all, they got paid a shit ton of money to do so, so that's a great thing. I'm just hoping ESPN doesn't dumb down the show. I hope and pray that they actually keep the same show, the same type of format. It works. It was one of the better shows on TV, and I'm talking about competing against actual shows, not just sports shows. It was very entertaining. So hopefully they keep it the same. I'm very interested to see how it comes. They're gonna how it goes. They're gonna be, I think, airing on Wednesday, starting at 6 p.m. I think is the kickoff, maybe 6 or 7. I have to double check, but on it after we see what they have going on. But the meat of the show, man. Oh God, pause. We got to talk about this Stephen A. Smith and LeBron shit. Stephen A. Smith is on a rampage right now. He the pivot, and I saw earlier today he did 7 p.m. in Brooklyn with Carmelo Anthony, and basically coming out and saying, like LeBron James, he doesn't like me. Pretty much saying that he's got receipts in regards to LeBron James and how he is two-faced and trying to get him fired, and he's tried to keep him out of the position that he currently has. I do think this is exhausting at this point. I do. It is a personal beef between those two people or those two gentlemen that is being played out in front of us. Yes, it's entertaining. Yes, it gets clicks and likes and all this and all that. But at the end of the day, I am excited because I think we are going to miss out on greatness with LeBron and A. Smith. Two powerhouse names in the world of basketball. They don't get along. They don't like each other for whatever reason. Stephen A. Smith loves to allude to, and I keep receipts. Well, just tell us what it is, bro. Just tell us what the fuck it is, because we're tired of the, and bullshit. And it just doesn't come from a genuine place, in my opinion. I'm not saying that he doesn't have to feel some type of way about LeBron James. I'm not saying that whatsoever, because, again, I'm not in those circles. I don't know that for a fact. And I'm not going to be the type of person who's actually going to assume. I don't know if he's lying. He might be telling the truth. LeBron might be a backstabbing motherfucker. He might be. I have no idea. But if you got receipts and your job as a journalist is to give the people the information, then give us the fucking information and stop fucking alluding to it, because I'm fucking exhausted, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. This is not about taking up for LeBron. It's not about taking up for Stephen A. Smith. It's just about being responsible as black men. That's what I keep hearing. As a black man, I want to do this, and as a black man, I shouldn't be doing that, and you get mad because you've been criticizing the man for 20 years. Let's just keep it 100. Let's just keep it a buck, bro. You have been criticizing that man for 20 plus years. And your big thing is, I'm not going to call him GOAT. That's fine. I don't think there's no problem with you not calling him the GOAT. I don't think anybody who doesn't believe that LeBron James is the greatest basketball player of all time should have to come out and say that. Reporter, fan, fake analyst, player, whoever. Your opinion, and you have entitled to it, and you have a right to that. Here's my issue. You don't get to call that man's name, and every time you call his name, he's the second greatest time. He's the second greatest basketball player of all time. You don't do that shit to Kobe. You don't do that shit to Tim Duncan. You don't do that shit to Shaq, and you don't do that shit to Kevin Garnett. It's a slap in the face. I'm one of these guys who read between the lines. You know what I mean? I'm going to always read between the lines, and I'm going to pay attention to the little slick shit that you do. Stephen A. Smith has been a journalist for over 30 years. You know how to use words. You know what you're saying. You're very deliberate in what you're saying. And every time you mention this man's name, it's this long list of accomplishments, and then you say, in my opinion, he's the second greatest basketball player of all time. Just give the accomplishments and move the fuck on. And for you to not understand that, that's what I have a problem with. That's the part that I have a problem with. You know what you're doing. Just like right now, nobody was talking about this LeBron shit. The shit had died down. You brought it back up. You went to the pivot and they asked you about it. It's very convenient that the pivot is hosted by your coworker, Ryan Clark, who we also know is not a fan of LeBron James. Now, you went to Carmelo's podcast, and I noticed something very, very interesting, and I'm going to play this clip for you. When Carmelo was giving his opinion on the situation, he said, and I'm going to play the clip just to make sure I'm not misquoting him, but he said, this wasn't just about that. It's been a build up for a while, and it had been building up, and then that was just the breaking point. And I think he was just like, you know what? At this point in time, LeBron was thinking, I got to say something. Fuck it. I got to say something. He said something. Stephen's response to that, he didn't address what Melo said. He immediately switched lanes and went and talked about how Draymond Green is taking up for LeBron James. Why would you take up for him? I'm not talking about you. It's not your business. See, this is what politicians do. They avoid and elude questions. That was a direct response to what Melo thought was going on between those two people. He said he was going to stay out of it. But here you are, instead of responding to what Carmelo Anthony is saying, you change subjects. See, that's the part of it that I understand, and that's the part of it that I don't like. I don't have a side in it. Again, I'm not in those circles. I just know LeBron James is a great player. Stephen A. Smith is a pillar in the community. He's an amazing pundit for ESPN. He's doing big things. I don't care if you squash it, but stop going on Taylor Swift tours. You know what I mean? Stop going on Taylor Swift tours. LeBron did what he did. He said what he said. He went to Pat McAfee. He disrespected you in your opinion. You responded. Let it go, bro. It's time to talk basketball, and nobody believes that you're going to be fair or just when you're talking about LeBron James. You literally, all through up and down my timeline right now, it says Stephen A. says he doesn't like LeBron James. So why would I think you would cover him fairly, bro? He hasn't been covered fairly since he got into the NBA. And that's no shot to you. That's not just you. That's the Skip Baylesses of the world. That's these idiots who use his name to get likes and draw attention to themselves and jump on that train. That's what his basketball career has been as far as the media is concerned. And I can understand the frustration. Frustration behind that. To use my name in a negative way to boost yourself up can be frustrating. And then it's like, oh, well, you know, it's your job to smoke Kwame Brown's boots on national TV the way you did. He's a scrub. We've seen you shoot jump shot. You can't call a 5-year-old scrub ever. You can't. You definitely be a scrub or anybody that I know who goes to a local gym. So again, stop saying that it's just your job. It's a different way to do it. You're doing it for entertainment purposes, and you're doing it with malice, and you don't get to throw a rock and hide your hand. Period. That's it, man. But that's all the time we got, man. I appreciate y'all checking in, man. As always, the show is sponsored by Tees and Trees Clothing. I will try to get another episode out later on this week. It's been real. We got a lot coming for you this season, man. So just stay tuned. Marcus Cameron, Front Office Podcast. Peace.